Narcissists are masters at wearing masks. They love control, admiration, and the emotional energy that empaths give so freely. In the beginning, they treat the empath's compassion like a rare treasure, but over time, they twist it into something to exploit. When they finally grow fed up, they rarely admit it directly. Instead, they keep disturbing secrets, hiding their true thoughts behind charm and silence while quietly preparing the next stage of manipulation. The first secret they hide is a deep sense of contempt. To the empath's face, they may still smile, act caring, and even pretend everything is fine. But internally, they've started to see kindness as weakness. What once drew them in now irritates them. They secretly mock the empath's forgiving nature, telling themselves they deserve something better. This contempt leaks out in subtle ways: sarcastic jokes, rolling eyes, or cold detachment that leaves the empath unsettled. The second secret is their backup plan. Narcissists rarely invest in one person fully. They're always searching for new sources of supply. When fed up with an empath, they begin scouting alternatives in secret. They might flirt at work, rekindle contact with an old flame, or use social media to create new admirers. To the empath, everything still looks normal. But behind the scenes, the narcissist is laying the groundwork for their escape route long before anyone notices. The third secret is their twisted view of empathy itself. At first, they wanted the empath's compassion like oxygen, but eventually, they grow tired of it. To them, love and patience feel suffocating. The very qualities that make the empath special are redefined in their mind as clingy or boring. Instead of valuing what they have, they reject it. This creates a bitter irony. They despise the gift of real love, even though they cannot create it themselves. The fourth secret is hidden rage. Narcissists carry anger beneath the surface at all times, but when fed up, that anger grows more volatile. They may keep a calm exterior, but inside, they're simmering, waiting for the smallest trigger. They hide this rage until it erupts in cruel words, silent treatments, or explosive fights. The empath often senses tension but can't explain it. This secret anger ensures that every small disagreement feels like stepping on broken glass. The fifth secret is boredom. Narcissists crave novelty and stimulation the way others crave stability. While the empath finds comfort in consistency, the narcissist interprets it as dullness. They secretly complain in their mind that the empath is too predictable, too steady, not exciting enough. This hidden boredom pushes them to seek thrills outside the relationship, whether through risky behavior, new admirers, or dramatic chaos they create just to feel alive. The sixth secret is sabotage. Once fed up, narcissists begin setting traps. They might undermine the empath's self-confidence with disguised insults, or subtly stir conflict with family and friends. They may also spread rumors to damage the empath's reputation. These actions are hidden carefully, so the empath often has no idea they are being sabotaged until the damage is already done. For the narcissist, sabotage is both revenge and a way to justify their next move. The seventh secret is their planned discard. By the time the empath realizes something is wrong, the narcissist has already rehearsed their exit. They think about what excuses they'll use, how to twist the narrative, and how to make themselves the victim. They may even provoke fights to create a reason for leaving. To the empath, the ending feels sudden and shocking, but to the narcissist, it has been carefully scripted for weeks or even months. The eighth secret, and perhaps the darkest, is envy. Deep down, narcissists know they cannot love the way an empath does. They see the empath's genuine compassion, their ability to forgive and nurture, and it stirs resentment. They secretly envy what they cannot create inside themselves. This envy becomes bitterness, and rather than admitting their inadequacy, they belittle the empath, making them feel small while hiding their own deep sense of emptiness. When these 8 secrets combine, the empath is left bewildered. They may wonder what changed, why the warmth turned cold, and how love became rejection. The narcissist will never confess the truth, because doing so would mean showing weakness. Instead, they hide their contempt, their rage, their boredom, their plans, and their envy. But no matter how well they conceal it, the breaking point always comes, and their hidden secrets are exposed in the trail of destruction they leave behind. When a narcissist is fed up, one of the secrets they hide is how carefully they test the empath's limits. They may deliberately push boundaries just to see if the empath will finally react differently. Each sigh, each rolled eye, each dismissive gesture is part of a quiet experiment. They are looking for signs of resistance, because resistance reminds them they are losing control. Yet they hide this testing behind a mask of normalcy, so the empath doesn't catch on. Another disturbing secret is that the narcissist often begins fantasizing about a new life without the empath long before they leave. They imagine themselves with a new partner, a new environment, or a new source of validation. These fantasies are never shared openly. Instead, the empath notices growing detachment, a distant gaze, or sudden disinterest in shared plans. What feels like subtle changes in mood are actually signs of secret dreams for escape. The narcissist also hides their disgust. This is harsh, but true. When they are fed up, they sometimes look at the empath not with love, but with irritation and contempt. They hide it because they know exposing it too early might cause conflict or abandonment before they are ready. But it leaks through in dismissive tones, sarcastic comments, or the way they suddenly devalue what once meant everything. To them, disgust is a weapon carefully concealed. A narcissist fed up with an empath hides their secret comparisons. They quietly measure the empath against others, ex-partners, friends, or potential new admirers. They may still act normal, but internally they tell themselves stories like, "She's not as exciting as the other one," or "He doesn't challenge me enough." These comparisons are hidden but dangerous, because they fuel their eventual discard. The empath becomes unaware they are constantly competing against invisible rivals. Another secret they keep is rehearsing conversations that have not yet happened. Narcissists script their explanations, their defenses, and their blame-shifting strategies. While the empath is still in the dark, the narcissist is already practicing how to twist the narrative. They imagine telling friends that the empath was the problem, or convincing the empath they caused the downfall. This secret rehearsal makes the discard seem rehearsed and cruelly efficient when it finally happens. When a narcissist is secretly done, they begin withdrawing intimacy, and they hide this change behind excuses. They may claim stress, busyness, or exhaustion, but the real reason is detachment. Emotional connection becomes scarce, physical closeness feels forced, and affection is withheld strategically. The empath feels the growing distance but cannot quite understand why. This hidden withdrawal is one of the clearest signs the narcissist is preparing to leave. Narcissists also hide their shame. They know deep down that they are incapable of sustaining real love, and that realization triggers shame they cannot face. Instead of admitting it, they bury it under arrogance. But when fed up, this shame becomes stronger. They project it onto the empath, accusing them of being too demanding, too emotional, or too flawed, when in reality the shame belongs to the narcissist alone. It is their secret burden. The narcissist hides their manipulation strategies. When fed up, they often become more calculating, planning exactly how to extract the most benefit before leaving. They may use the empath for financial help, social connections, or emotional support right until the final moment. This strategy is kept secret because they don't want the empath to realize they're being used until the narcissist has already gotten everything they need. They also hide their jealousy. Even if they are fed up, narcissists cannot stand the thought of the empath moving on and finding happiness without them. They may act indifferent, but secretly they worry about being replaced. This jealousy is masked with arrogance or coldness, yet it gnaws at them. They want to discard the empath on their own terms, but the idea of the empath thriving afterward is their hidden fear. Perhaps the most chilling secret is that, even when fed up, the narcissist still expects ownership. In their mind, the empath will always belong to them, even if they mistreat or abandon them. They hide this belief under silence, but it reveals itself later through hoovering or unexpected reappearances. The narcissist believes they can return whenever they choose, even after they've grown tired and left. This hidden entitlement is their most disturbing secret of all. When narcissists reach the point of being fed up, they begin to treat the empath's kindness as a nuisance rather than a gift. They no longer see patience and care as valuable. Instead, they secretly resent it. In their mind, compassion becomes weakness, and they feel suffocated by it. This hidden resentment often turns into cold withdrawal, where the empath feels shut out, left wondering what went wrong, even though they did nothing but love sincerely. Another hidden truth is that narcissists secretly prepare to rewrite history. While still in the relationship, they already plan how they will portray themselves as the victim later. They mentally edit events, rehearsing how to tell others that the empath was the difficult one. This narrative is never shared openly at the time, but it builds quietly in their mind. When the relationship ends, the empath is shocked by how convincing the narcissist's lies sound. They also hide their feelings of emptiness. Narcissists get bored easily, and when the empath no longer provides the same thrill, the narcissist feels hollow inside. Rather than facing this emptiness, they secretly blame the empath for not entertaining them enough. The empath may sense a void in the relationship, but can't explain why. The narcissist's emptiness is their secret curse, one they project outward instead of confronting directly. A disturbing secret narcissists hide when fed up is that they sometimes test how much pain the empath will endure. They may deliberately create tension, start arguments, or ignore boundaries just to measure the reaction. These secret tests are cruel games designed to confirm control. The empath, unaware, keeps trying harder to fix things, not realizing they are being used as a pawn in the narcissist's hidden experiment. They also hide their admiration, which is twisted by envy. Deep down, narcissists envy the empath's ability to love and forgive. They admire this, but because they cannot replicate it, the admiration turns into resentment. They secretly hate that they will never feel love the way the empath does. This conflict becomes one of their darkest secrets. They want what the empath has but can only destroy it. When fed up, narcissists secretly begin detaching piece by piece. They withdraw emotionally, then physically, and finally mentally. The empath feels each withdrawal like a wound but doesn't see the bigger picture. The narcissist hides this detachment under excuses, work stress, bad moods, or tiredness. But the truth is, they are already gone in their mind, preparing to discard while pretending everything is fine. Narcissists also keep secret the level of calculation that goes into discarding an empath. They don't leave suddenly. They plan it. They gather new supply, save evidence to twist the story, and prepare financial or social advantages before leaving. This secret planning makes the final discard feel brutal for the empath, who often has no warning. The narcissist thrives on the shock factor, hiding every step until the very end. They hide how much they enjoy the power imbalance. Narcissists feed off seeing the empath confused, desperate, or over-explaining. Even when they're fed up, they quietly savor this control. They will never admit this secret satisfaction, because it exposes how much they thrive on cruelty. For the empath, what feels like heartbreaking chaos is, for the narcissist, a twisted game they keep hidden from view. A disturbing secret is their need to provoke jealousy even when they're fed up. They may flirt openly, praise others, or compare the empath unfavorably to someone else. They hide the true purpose behind this. They want to see if they still have emotional control. If the empath reacts, the narcissist feels reassured of their power. They never admit this cruel game, but it drives many of their hidden behaviors during the final stages. Finally, narcissists hide their fear of abandonment. Though they act indifferent, deep down they're terrified of being left first. So when fed up, they secretly rush to leave before the empath can. They create chaos or distance to ensure they are the one in control of the ending. This fear is never spoken, but it dictates their hidden actions. They'd rather destroy real love than risk being the one abandoned. One of the most disturbing secrets narcissists hide when they're fed up is how much they crave chaos. They cannot live in peace for long because stability feels boring to them. So even when the empath is offering calm, steady love, The narcissist secretly looks for ways to stir drama. They may create conflicts out of nothing or provoke arguments just to feel alive again. The empath never suspects this chaos is intentional, but it is carefully hidden. Another hidden truth is their fear of exposure. Narcissists know deep down that if the empath spoke openly about their behavior, their carefully curated image would collapse. When they're fed up, this fear becomes stronger. They secretly worry about being unmasked but will never admit it. Instead, they preemptively smear the empath, painting them as unstable or dramatic, all to protect their reputation from the truth they desperately want hidden. They also conceal how much they resent the empath's independence. At first, they may have admired it, even pretended to encourage it, but when fed up, they secretly hate it. The idea that the empath can survive without them triggers envy and fear. So they hide their resentment behind subtle control tactics, discouraging ambitions, criticizing decisions, or withholding support. The empath thinks it's concern, but it's really the narcissist's secret jealousy. A chilling secret is that narcissists often fantasize about revenge. When they are tired of the empath, they don't just want to leave, they want to leave scars. They secretly plot how to make the empath suffer, whether through rejection, betrayal, or public humiliation. These fantasies are hidden behind calm faces or false affection, but the goal is always to maintain control through pain, even after the relationship ends. Narcissists also keep hidden their fear of emptiness after discarding an empath. While they act cold and detached, they secretly know that life without the empath will feel hollow. The stability, affection, and forgiveness they once enjoyed will vanish. Yet they cannot face this openly. Instead, they pretend indifference, hiding the truth that losing the empath leaves them exposed to loneliness they cannot endure. Another disturbing secret is how much they secretly monitor the empath. Even while planning to leave, narcissists watch closely, studying reactions, tracking moods, and noting weaknesses. This hidden surveillance gives them ammunition for later manipulation. The empath may think the narcissist has grown distant, but in reality, they are quietly collecting information to use as weapons when the discard finally comes. Narcissists also conceal how much they thrive on confusion. They deliberately send mixed signals, warm one day, cold the next, not because they don't know what they want, but because they want the empath unbalanced. This hidden strategy ensures the empath clings harder, trying to fix things. The narcissist never admits that confusion is a tactic, but secretly, it is one of their favorite tools to maintain control until the very end. They hide their fear of being irrelevant. Even as they prepare to leave, narcissists secretly dread the idea that the empath will move on and forget them. Their ego cannot accept being erased from someone's life, so they may secretly plan ways to reinsert themselves later, through hoovering or sudden contact. This fear of irrelevance is buried beneath arrogance, but it drives many of their hidden behaviors during the discard phase. Another disturbing secret is their habit of rehearsing the empath's downfall. In their mind, narcissists play out scenarios where the empath collapses without them, failing in life, crying in regret, or desperately wanting them back. They hide this fantasy because it reveals their cruelty, but it gives them comfort, feeding their ego with the idea that the empath will suffer while they appear unaffected, even if the opposite is true. Lastly, narcissists hide how much they mirror the empath even when fed up. They steal phrases, mannerisms, and even emotional responses, all while secretly resenting the empath for being authentic. They use this stolen identity as a weapon, twisting the empath's strengths into tools for manipulation. The empath often doesn't realize their own words and traits are being used against them, making this one of the most disturbing hidden secrets. When narcissists are fed up, they secretly prepare for the discard by building false narratives. They quietly gather selective evidence to prove the empath was the problem, saving texts, twisting arguments, or retelling events from a distorted perspective. This secret preparation allows them to leave with a story that makes them look like the victim, while the empath is left stunned, confused, and unable to defend themselves against carefully crafted lies. Another secret they hide is how much they enjoy withholding affection as punishment. They stop giving compliments, withdraw physical closeness, and ignore emotional needs, all while acting like nothing is wrong. The empath feels starved for validation, but doesn't understand why. This silent cruelty is deliberate, and it becomes a hidden weapon to keep the empath chasing approval. The narcissist hides this tactic because exposing it would reveal their manipulative nature. Narcissists also keep hidden their habit of testing replacements while still with the empath. They quietly evaluate potential new supply, sending small signals to see who responds. To the empath, everything seems stable, but in the narcissist's secret world, auditions are already underway. This betrayal is never admitted out loud, but it guarantees that by the time they leave, someone else is already waiting in the wings to take the empath's place. They also hide the depth of their envy toward the empath's resilience. Even while fed up, narcissists notice how the empath continues to love, continues to care, and somehow keeps standing despite the abuse. This strength infuriates them because it highlights their own emptiness. They won't admit this, of course. Instead, they try to crush the empath's resilience, hiding their secret jealousy beneath criticism and emotional withdrawal. A disturbing secret is how they secretly calculate financial or material benefits before leaving. They may use the empath for money, housing, or social connections right up until the final discard. They hide this strategy because it exposes how transactional their view of relationships truly is. The empath often doesn't realize they've been exploited until the narcissist is gone, leaving behind unpaid debts, emotional or financial, that were never acknowledged. Narcissists also hide their growing disgust for stability. What the empath values as peace and security, they see as suffocating. They secretly crave chaos and unpredictability, interpreting the empath's consistency as boring. This hidden disdain fuels their urge to escape, even though they will never find lasting satisfaction elsewhere. To them, stability is poison, but they never admit this truth. They just leave destruction in their wake. Another secret is their fascination with control even after they're done. Narcissists hide the fact that they still expect the empath to react to their moods, texts, or disappearances, even when the relationship is over. This secret entitlement drives hoovering attempts later. They cannot accept losing control entirely, so they hide their obsession with maintaining influence, waiting for chances to reinsert themselves into the empath's life. They also hide their secret fear of replacement. While they may prepare new supply, they dread the idea of the empath moving on first. Their ego cannot handle being forgotten or replaced by someone healthier. This fear is hidden beneath arrogance and coldness, but it explains why narcissists often return suddenly, pretending to care, when in reality they're terrified of being erased from the empath's story. A haunting secret is that even when fed up, narcissists secretly know they'll never find another empath quite like you. They sense that your love, patience, and forgiveness were unique. Though they'll never say it, this knowledge lingers in their mind. It becomes the ghost that follows them into every new relationship, whispering reminders of the love they destroyed, but will never admit to regretting out loud. In the end, the most disturbing secret is that narcissists know exactly what they are doing. They may deny, deflect, or disguise it, but deep down, they recognize the damage they cause. When they're fed up with an empath, they hide contempt, envy, rage, and plans for betrayal. But no matter how well they conceal it, the truth eventually emerges. And when it does, the empath sees clearly. The love was real, but the narcissist was never capable of cherishing it.